like to thank Professor Neil Spalding for his inspirational speech. On behalf of the college, would our deputy heads of the line present him with a small token of our gratitude. When I arrived at Stonyhurst in 2008, I barely had the confidence to answer a question in class. I know that many of my fellow rhetoricians wouldn't actually remember me in lower grammar. I was small and not exactly talkative. But it's not easy to be shy at Stonyhurst. It's not a place where you can hide away and be forgotten. I may still be small, but it's thanks to all the people I've met in the time I've spent here that I can stand up here today and tell a room full of people how brilliant the past few years have been. It's the people at Stonyhurst who make it really special. I'd like to say a huge thank you, on behalf of Rhetoric, to our teachers. You are the ones who keep us going through our exams and encourage us to really do our best. Another huge thank you should go to our headmaster, Mr. Johnson, and all the pastoral staff. You make Stonyhurst feel like home to a lot of us, which is really important, even now when we feel all grown up in Rhetoric. Stonyhurst as a place is something quite extraordinary. Aside from my first day, when I arrived down the avenue, I've never really stopped to appreciate the fact that we all go to school every day in a Grade 1 listed building. Not many people can say that. So I would like to thank all the domestic staff and the maintenance staff for keeping our school in such good shape for us. All the opportunities we've had at Stonyhurst have been open to us, not only by our teachers, but by our parents. I won't say that Rhetoric takes for granted that they're here, because I know the sacrifices that some families have made to send their children to Stonyhurst. So I would like to use this opportunity to say thank you on behalf of Rhetoric to all of our parents. You've been supporting us, encouraging us, and keeping us on track for 18 years, so thank you so much for your dedication. To all the students in Lower Line, I know you probably hear this all the time, but please don't wish your time at Stonyhurst away. I would urge you to grasp the opportunities you have here with both hands. Do everything you can to fill your time with music, sport, volunteering and fun. To lower grammar especially, you have no idea what the future at Stonyhurst holds for you. I can only assure you that it will be the best time of your life, so don't waste a single moment. I still remember the head of the line's address to me 5 years ago, and I wish I could go back to that moment now and cherish every day I've had at Stonyhurst. You will forge friendships here that will last a lifetime. So stick together as a playroom and spend time with each other. To poetry, now it's your turn. Whether this is the end of your first year, your fourth year, or your 10th year at Stonyhurst, you can't deny that your Rhetoric year is the one you have been waiting for. I know the feeling of just wanting to get to university. I've had it myself a few months ago. But next year, when you're in my place, I guarantee you will be shocked by how quickly your year has gone. So make the most of it. I wish you good luck in your exams, your university applications, and your final year at Stonyhurst. And to my fellow rhetoricians, I know some of you are just about ready to fly the nest, and I know a few of you who don't feel ready yet. I also know a few of you who just can't wait to get out of here. Well, this is how I see it. There are at least 3 future doctors whom I would gladly trust with my life. There are lawyers and economists ready to take on our challenging and ever-changing world. There are scientists and engineers going on to discover and create. There are philosophers and linguists, entrepreneurs and journalists, and last but not least, politicians. And altogether, there are 85 individuals ready to move on and change the lives of others for the better. As a playroom, we've grown close over the years we've been together. I couldn't separate those that joined us in poetry from those that came to the college from SMH 5 years ago. Together we've experienced brilliant happiness, but we've also shared incredible pain. There are those who cannot be here with us today, namely the inspirational teachers and friends that we've lost. Brian Hodgson, Simon Waterhouse, and Nicholas Chen. I remember Brian Hodgson as a man who believed in us as a playroom and really worked with us as individuals, making us who we are today. I remember Simon Waterhouse as the most upbeat, joyful person. He was always smiling and full of life. And I remember Nicholas Chen. He was fiercely loyal as a friend and someone who brought happiness to every walk of life. Every Stonyhurst student hears the words men and women for others pretty much every day, from lower grammar to rhetoric, which is approximately 1,000 times. And yes, to reach that figure, I did in fact calculate the number of days I've spent here in 5 years. No one would hope that over all those days of hearing those words, it might have sunk in a little bit. Well, for rhetoric, I believe it has. We worked together to pull off a hugely successful poetry banquet, full of new ideas and enthusiasm, to ensure that the Stonyhurst Children's Holiday Week could be a real highlight in the lives of those children who really need our care. At Rhetoric Fair 2012, we raised enough money to make sure that the Ray of Light Children's Centre in Zimbabwe could continue its work supporting the most vulnerable children. And most recently, at our LTC dinner, we raised the funds to install a running water supply for a really special education project in Zanzibar. Through achieving all of this, I know that we've made some serious progress in becoming the men and women for others that our teachers have been preaching about. I won't lie and tell you that I remember every day I've spent at Stonyhurst. Most of you know that my memory is pretty terrible. But what really stands out about my time here is the laughter. We've laughed with each other, and we've laughed at each other. And by that, I mean that we've all taken our fair share of banter over the years. So my final thank you is to you, Rhetoric 2013. Thank you for 5 years of true happiness. It's been unforgettable. All I have left to say is that I wish you the best of luck in your exams and your future. It's truly been a privilege to know you. Thank you.